Many of us are tempted to be perfectionists. A perfectionist is someone who understands my worth is based on my ability to achieve in order to earn your love. And if I don't achieve, then you will not love me. And it's very sad to watch children grow up in a home where that is crystal clearly communicated to them by mom and dad. The message is simple. If you achieve, we love you. If you do not achieve, we will withhold our love. You are not loved. Jesus Christ says, hogwash to that. Jesus Christ communicates that your value, your worth, have nothing to do with your achievements. Instead, God created you and me with innate worth and value. Secondly, God created us to love each other regardless of our achievements. In Romans 15:7 we read, "Accept one another, then, just as Christ has accepted you." Jesus Christ loves you and me in spite of our moral failures, in spite of mistakes, in spite of our cosmic treason. He loves us with an in spite of love. In other words, an unconditional love. And then in Psalm 133 verse 1 we read, "How good and pleasant it is when brothers live together in unity." Perfectionism divides. Perfectionism alienates us from God. Many people say to me, "Cliffe, if God is perfect, why do we live in such an imperfect world?" The obvious answer to that is, scripturally, we live in an imperfect world not because God created it imperfectly, but because He created us with a free will. We rebelled against Him. We told Him to take His act elsewhere. And when He honored our request, chaos broke loose. Injustice was unleashed. And yet it's amazing how many perfectionists feel comfortable critiquing God for creating this type of world, this kind of setup. Watch out. Don't assume the position of judging God, for that is a type of perfectionism that will alienate you and me from God. Not only does perfectionism alienate us from God, perfectionism also damages our relationships. If I demand that you be perfect in our friendship, will you be able to achieve that standard? I know that if you demand perfection of me in our friendship, I will never, ever measure up. To accept each other means to accept each other's humanity, brokenness, ignorance, finiteness, sinfulness. That is crucial. To remember that a human being is valuable because they are treasured by God, but we are broken. And we do have bad habits, every single one of us. And we are all sinners, every single one of us. And we all do make mistakes, is crucial in order to develop a deep, intimate relationship. And that is why building an intimate relationship takes so much work. Because we're not perfect human specimens, none of us are. And we need to be humble before God and humble before each other, accepting each other as we are. Then we will be free to enjoy depth of relationship, intimacy in relationships. Perfectionism also damages the church. If you are waiting to find a perfect church, you will never find it, I promise you. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the great German Christian, pointed out that if I am in love with the ideal church, I will run over God's community of faithful people. And that's tragic. If I ever find the perfect church, the moment I join that church, it'll become very imperfect. So God is not so much concerned about the perfect church. What God is concerned about is growing my character in Christ-likeness. And that's what the Church of Jesus Christ is to be. A gathering of people who are seeking to grow closer to Jesus Christ, allowing Him to transform their character so they become better people, so they become good people, so they become people who honor Christ and honor people with their lives. And that is an exciting process, but it is a process, an ongoing process that is never complete. And perfectionism also damages our children. Perfectionism grinds a child into the ground with feelings of inferiority, feelings of inadequacy, feelings I'll never measure up to my parents' unrealistic expectations. And that is an incredible psychological burden to place on a child. Have you experienced the grace of God? The grace of God is a love that accepts you as you are. The grace of God is a love that covers up your wrongdoing, forgiving you if you ask Him for forgiveness. And when you and I put our faith in Christ, we begin to realize that at the heart of the cosmos is not a judgmental, harsh, critical, negative God. False. Instead, at the heart of the universe is a gracious God, a forgiving God, a merciful God, a patient God, a faithful God who sticks with us even when we blow it, even when we fail miserably. When you put your faith in Jesus Christ, He will begin to fill you and to melt you with His unconditional love and graciousness. And that is the type of love that holds a marriage together, holds a family together, holds a church community together, holds a business together, holds a neighborhood together, holds a nation together. Have you responded to the love of God revealed in Jesus Christ? And are you a conduit through which that love flows into the lives of everyone around you, beginning with your spouse and your children? Put your faith in Christ. Allow His acceptance to turn you into a person who accepts others, who's incredibly tolerant and loving, especially towards those who fail you. God bless you as you make that most important decision to trust in Jesus Christ.